At Blackwell Meadows this afternoon, the Quakers host the Breaks as Alan Armstrong's side welcome Leamington for this Vanarama National League North clash. The Quakers' defeat at Kings Lynn last weekend saw their 8-game unbeaten run come to an end. Another midweek defeat followed, and so they go into this game looking to avoid a third straight defeat or otherwise extending their winless run to 4. Alan makes one change to the side beaten at Buxton, bringing in Danny Rose for Alex Purver. Alex drops to the bench where he's joined by the returning Jarrett Rivers. Leamington had no midweek commitments after an impressive 2-1 win over AFC Fylde and name an unchanged starting 11. Luke Slater taking Connor Taylor's place on the bench is their only change.
Leamington just keep staying organised behind the ball, not really leaving any room for an opening, and the Quakers just have to spend a little while probing and trying to open things up. I'm okay with it now. Headley out on the left-hand touchline. Inside for Leasley across to Rose. Ball's gone left to right now. It's with Dan Dodds, who cuts inside and sprints off after it. Cleared to Street, only as far as Headley on the edge of the area. His shot's blocked. Lambert's shot's charged down. Beck turns on it and spins and shoots just wide. Hits the side netting. Come back a little. It's actually Walker who has the ball now. May lays it back. Ping forward by Lane, and a little nudge in the back there from Sukar on Raheem Reid. Leamington with a free kick in what would be, I think, a dangerous position, which Devon Kelly Evans stands over, takes it. Not far off. Had Tommy Taylor diving towards his right post. I think he had it covered.
Yeah, I would say he had it. Yeah, one of those where the keeper had it, where Tommy had it covered. Definitely.
Goes long and just to ensure he was first to the ball.
I think it was clever play from the forward again there, who just felt the little nudge from Lawler again, and the referee bought it.
As much as we test the pitch in these first few minutes, these first 15-20 minutes, to see how that's holding up after the weather, players will also test the referee to see what they can get away with. And that ball in, nodded over by Raheem Reid, landing on the roof of the net. Good delivery. Raheem Reid more or less on the penalty spot, I think, there, just nodding it over the bar. He is looking dangerous today, as Keith says. Dan Meredith with the throw-in for the visitors. Cleared by Leasley, only as far as Adam Walker. He brings it down. Felix gets there ahead of Hall. Quakes with the ball through Dodds, played up to Lambert on the right-hand side. Neat little nutmeg from Jack Lambert. Evades the slide tackle. The referee's going to play the advantage here, you would think, or he was going to. Lambert loses the ball a couple of seconds later. And that could well be a booking, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the first, obviously first yellow card of the game, and it was never. Don't think it was ever in doubt.
Lambert sprinting away down the left-hand side, or right-hand side, sorry. Standing over it, Lambert leaves it. Leasley swings it in. Nodded away, deflected, loose. And then Beck just trying to toe poke it somewhere. It's back with Theo Street now. He'll bring it over the halfway line. Ping pong forward, but it's headed away by Ben Headley. And Leasley can turn and run. Looking over the top for Jack Lambert. He's going to be in a foot race with Theo Street. One you would expect him to win, perhaps. And he's managed to pick Theo Street's pocket. Takes a couple of extra touches. And eventually, when he does get his shot in, it's charged down. I think he had a couple of chances to shoot there that he didn't take. As Dodd swings one back in, Leasley tries to get his head on it. It's cleared. Still not out of the woods yet, Leamington. They clear it this time. And disclaimer, they may be slightly biased, but perhaps thinking another soft free kick from today's man in the middle, Sean Taylor, as Hawkins plays that one forward. May's in here, and that's an own goal, I think. I think in his efforts to try and get that away from Simeon May, I think it's Lawler may have put that one past Tommy Taylor.
Yeah, hard to tell initially, but it wasn't a particularly dangerous ball at first.
From that balcony camera, nodded on. And Kelly Evans snatches in first, and then I think, no, it's Ben Headley who comes off last. Sukar plays it off Headley, trying to clear it, and it just bounces off Ben Headley past a stricken Tommy Taylor. Leamington lead. Cleared by Hawkins. Dodds will nod that away. It's going to drop just inside the centre circle. Leasley up fighting for it. It drops loose. Hooked back over by May. Reed through here. Beaten Taylor to it. Is that going to go over the line? No, it's not.
It's great defending in the end there by, was it Lawler in the end?
I think it is Lawler, yeah.
But,
the Leamington players want something given for that. They think there was a foul. Let's have a look.
To be fair, the centre forward did well again to get in between.
He did.
To get in between Suker
Reed,
and Lawler.
And the ball just drops loose and Lawler nods it away. Leamington get a corner, but I think they feel they should have a penalty. I'm not seeing any errors here that indicate I'm having a problem with my connection. As another long throw comes in, it's nodded across the area by Dodds. Lambert with a neat touch to get away, and he can set off now. Looks for the ball for Felix. It's a bit ahead of him, but he's going to get to it. Kane Felix has the ball on the right hand side, tries to cut it into, tries to cross it over, but charged down by Hall. Darlington still with it though. Leasley's cross gets a deflection. Beck gets his head to it. Hawkins with the comfortable catch.
Yeah, I don't know when that finished.
Hawkins clears the ball well into the Darlington half. Lawler heads clear. And the second header finds its way down to Danny Rose. Moke to Dodds, but sold him a bit short there. And Lawler's in a 2-on-1 situation. Walker is through. Taylor saves at his feet.
It was another chance for Leamington there, just from came out of nothing really in the end, and Tommy Taylor had to get down and make a save with his foot
Lawler
in the
suddenly
end.
Found himself left 2-on-1. Adam Walker slid in, and that loose ball runs to Lawler. Dodds will keep that one in. Turns inside. Kelly Evans plays it inside for Leasley. Leasley out to the right hand side for Lambert. He'll keep that in. Needs a touch to fashion a cross. Gets the cross in. Nodded away. Quakers corner.
Better play there from Darlington. And just as after I'd said about Kane Felix getting into the game a little bit more, probably as his most promising.
Leasley takes it. Beck's up there. Scramble in the box. Over the bar, is it? Goal kick. Last touch off a player in black and white. Lots of bodies in there. Hard to tell who actually got the last one.
Yeah, hard to tell who got quite, but it was a half chance in the end.
16 gone here in the second half. Darlington 0, Leamington 1. A Ben Headley own goal just before the half hour. Beck turning the ball inside for Lambert on search of an equaliser, but couldn't quite find him that time. Ben Headley will collect the loose ball just inside the Leamington half. Hazel round the corner for Lambert. He's tried to play it back for Hazel, but Dan Meredith happy to collect that one and clear it away, but not the most convincing of the clearances. Jacob Hazel's broken to the byline. The ball's dropped loose from Hawkins. Spilled up off him, gets cleared. Noise levels in the tin shed up a little more after that one. Only as far as Sukar though. Sukar to Lambert. Lambert outside for Headley. Ball across to the right hand side. Great ball over for Dan Dodds. Brings it under control. Gets away from Kelly Evans. Does he charge down? Corner. And they can maybe sense that there is one in the offing. Corner comes in. Punched away by Hawkins. Ball's dropped loose. Lots of people in there. It's in! I think it's Jake Lawler with the telling touch. The Quakers are level. Pinball in the area from the corner, and I think it's Jake Lawler who gets the last touch on it. Slams it into the roof of the net. Yep, drops loose to him, and he just leathers that over Callum Hawkins. Nothing the Leamington keeper could do. It's taken 20 minutes in the second half. The Quakers are level. Darlington 1, Leamington 1. It's Jake Lawler.
And as we've just said, literally all we've needed to do is just up the tempo a little bit. You can see visibly how we'd up the tempo that last 3 or 4 minutes before the lead up to the goal, and straight away it's paid dividends.
Well, I said the Quakers could sense an equaliser as that corner was being delivered. They got one. Game on again. 25 minutes to go here at Blackwell Meadows. Darlington 1, Leamington 1. As Dan Dodds comes forward with the ball again. Dodds inside, intercepted before it could reach Felix. Ball forward with Reed as he tries to turn it over his head and around the corner, but Lawler's alert to that, the goal scorer. Across to Sukar. Forward to Beck, who's just dropped back into midfield to assist. Ball forward for Hazel. Offside flag is up. Hazel shot and then laid it off for Lambert, who eventually manages to get that cross in. And unfortunately just couldn't direct it in the way we'd have wanted. Here comes Joe Leasley now, charging through a group of players. Great little ball to the outside. He's got Dan Dodds has reached the corner of the area, clips one over, gets a deflection, corner to the Quakers.
Yeah, just a little tiny nick there off the defender when Dodds got his shot away. And out for another corner, and it's Darlington now who's starting to put all the pressure on the Leamington.
Again, as we move into the final quarter of this game, underway again. Simple header over the top for Reid. He brings it down. Lawler gets it clear though. Reid running into Sukar, who's shepherding him well. Back to Headley. Headley clears it up the left-hand side, but only as far as Clark. Clark brings it down the right-hand side. Leasley's gone with him. Clark has to check back. Leasley gets a foot in, wins it back. Hazel and Leasley working together on that left-hand side, but Leamington keeping the pressure on. Quakers struggling to find room for the clearance, but they found it now to Beck. He lays it back to Lambert. Out to the left-hand side for Jacob Hazel. Hazel will switch the play out to Dodds on the right-hand side, takes it down on his chest. Nice ball and nicely taken by Dodds there. Back to Moke. Quakers just slowing the thing down a little there. Leamington can get men behind the ball again, but they're organised now. The Quakers will have to find another way through. Headley lays one around the corner for Leasley. Leasley with the cross. Beck with the header just wide. It's going to go all the way through to Tommy Taylor. Picks the ball out, throws it to Sukar. Sukar up the left-hand side looking for Hazel. Meredith let that run over, it bounce over him. Hazel. And Meredith lets it bounce over him. Hazel collects it, slides it in. And I think it's Leasley coming in. Oh no, it's not. It's Lambert, sorry, coming in. Sliding onto it, and it just rolls agonisingly wide of the left-hand post.
That's one of those where it goes down as, I'm not quite sure how that didn't go in, but Jacob Hazel did it ever so well.
Lambert helps it on its way. Hazel couldn't win that one though. Not enough on it for him. Nodded away by Headley. Lambert hooks one over. Leasley hooks one over his head. Lambert trying to take the ball down with his head there, but couldn't. It just runs loose. Lawler nodding it towards Sukar. Sukar climbing a little bit, but gets away with it. Headed back into trouble though. Walker with it on the right-hand side. Now with Cook, the substitute. May about 20 yards out. Hall's run through here, has a shot. Gets a deflection, which thankfully sends it away from goal this time. Felix gets a nudge from Hall, goes down, no free kick. Leamington throw in. Crowd didn't like that one, but Leamington come again. Right-hand side. Meredith drills one across, cleared. Second attempt, charge down. Third attempt, cleared. Fourth attempt, blocked. Nodded back in again, edge of the area. Hooked clear by Headley, but only to the edge of the area again. Somebody needs to get a telling foot on this for Darlington. Leasley clears it, but it's going to come back again. This time through Clark. He's made it out to the right-hand side of the area, cuts it across the box. Nobody able to get a telling touch on it, and Dodds can bring it clear for Darlington now. Ball not going over the byline. Dodds hoofs it over the top looking for Beck, nodded away by Lane. And the loose ball drops to a Leamington player with Felix closing in. Kelly Evans with it now under pressure from Dodds. Being forced back towards his own goal. He may have to look into the back pass here, but he manages to turn and get one away up the left wing. Lawler battling for the ball, winning that battle, but only as far as Kelly Evans. That's a handball. Referee says chest. Referee's wrong, frankly. Lambert with it now for Darlington now. Plays it out to the left-hand side for Ben Headley. Headley back to Lambert. Lambert turns, looks up the left-hand side, gets away from Meredith, gets to the byline. His cross is slightly charged down. Hazel's got a little nick from behind. Referee waves away the appeals. Ball comes in anyway, and that's an easy take for Hawkins. And breathe.
Don't really know where to start with that passage of play there. Two poor decisions from the referee, I will say. First one on Kane Felix, where anywhere else on the pitch is a free kick.
Free kick dropped onto the edge of the area. Beck was down. I think he's taken a knock before that ball's reached him. And the game ends 1-1. An own goal in the first half from Leamington, for Leamington, cancelled out in the second half by Jake Lawler, who'd also done his part in ensuring that Leamington didn't go in at half-time with a 2-0 lead with a header off the line in the first half, when Leamington perhaps felt they should have had a penalty from that incident. It wasn't given. Lawler able to head away. And the game here at Blackwell Meadows finishes Darlington 1, Leamington 1, honours even a point each. For the Quakers, it arrests the slide and avoids a third consecutive defeat, but it does mean they're now 4 without a win. And for Leamington, it's probably a good follow-up to their victory over Fylde last weekend. 4 points from the last 6 for them, and a point, probably a fair result, I would say, in the end.
Probably overall, I would say Leamington will